This video is on how to string the doll. If you want to know exactly how this doll is made, I can do that in a different video. But the information on putting together the doll with whatever doll parts that you have is good. Even if your dolls go together with joints like this, it's okay. It's all the same. We're going to use the same stuff to put it together. So let me show you how I make my creepy dolls. By laying out the dolls that I'll be working on first. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut my stringing cord. So it doesn't matter what doll you do. I know these dolls are very tall, but even for the regular baby dolls and what have you, it's going to be the same. So we're going to take a piece of our cord. I usually use a thicker cord for the head because the legs attach to the head. So you're going to come and make it loop here. Put your finger here. Make it come down, depending on how loose you want the doll strung. I do these very, very tight, and so it comes up to probably around the crotch area when stretched up to the neck. But if you don't want yours that tight, which most people do not, I do these because they stand on their own. Now for the arms, I like to use a little lighter cord. And on these, it's kind of the same process, but we're going to go from the elbow joint up to the armpit of the other one. And remember, however short you make this is going to be how tightly strung the doll is. And I like these to hold their shape without breaking them, of course. So I'm going to do mine like this. Cut it right here. While I'm at it, I will go ahead and make one for this doll. I wouldn't suggest you pre-cut 5, 6, 10 dolls at once unless that is the only doll that you make. Good grief. I actually make several different kinds and sizes, so I can't really do that. I made a mess of everything, huh? Okay, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to take it and we're going to tie a knot close to the end. These knots are going to be inside the body, both of them. Okay, you're going to do one each for these. You're going to do 2 each for these. So we're going to need one more. And being I made this one a little looser, I'll go ahead and make the other one the same. I should have measured that out before I tied it. But I had a goat emergency I had to get to. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll make this a little looser for the whole doll. This is any doll. It don't have to be the creepy things that I make. This is for any doll. Because I do make some non-creepies. In fact, I've got one coming. It's still in production. It's going to be a cute little boy named Manny. And he's going to have big dragon wings. This is his leg, actually. And so even with this kind of joint, to where the joint goes like this and the leg goes to the side, it's still going to be the same principle. These are actually considered ball and joint. And this mold is pretty darn old. And it was made in Germany. It was 18 something or other. I will see you back over here when everything's done and ready. For this particular doll, I've already showed you we cut out our elastic bands. We're going to need a screwdriver, any kind, or any sort of a flat hard surface. I personally make my own tools, so I've got these hoops that used to be coat hangers, and I've got several different sizes I use. Then I use these from Doll's Part. It is the doll screws, and they attach arms, legs, heads, etc. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the head to the body. It helps to lay everything out so you make sure you get the right parts where they're supposed to go. And this is the most difficult part right here. The head goes on with the 28. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and screw that into the hole that you have. Your doll's going to be different than this, but this still stands. Everything I'm doing still stands. The easiest way to do this is going to take one of these and put it in here. Put your knot in the center because you want the knot to end up inside of the belly, not down here at the legs. So put it closer to the head. And you can go ahead and do both of them if you choose. That's the way I like to do it. And then screw this in. Now we're going to fish both of these through. It always helps when you go the right direction. FYI. Just be super careful with these, because if those things go down into the leg too far, it's just a pain in the butt to fish them back out is all. Okay. Let's get this stuff out of our way. I've never really done it at this angle before, so hopefully I can do it to where you can see it. So we're going to take the head and both of these, we're going to put it through here. And while it's laying here, we're just going to grab one. Probably would have been easier. There we go. And then the other one, I just used a coat hanger with a little loop on it. Let's make sure the knots are down into the body, and that's when this comes into play. So we are going to put this here just to keep them from going back in there. Now, we're going to, see, don't do that. Oh, I got lucky. So we're going to make sure that whichever leg goes on whichever side is there. We're going to put our tool through here. We're going to grab this. We're going to pull it tight and then connect this. You must be careful not to put too much strain on the piece itself, or you will break it, especially mine, because I do mine in ceramic. I do not do it in porcelain or stoneware. If you're going to adjust your legs, always pull out. Pull the head out before you turn the head. That is going to save you a lot of heartache later on, and I suggest you tell your customers to do the same thing. Okay, now we get to do the next one, and we're going to do it the same way. We're going to clip it with our tool, pull it tight, and then get creative. I like using a screwdriver wherever it went, just to kind of hold it while I'm getting everything else in order. Whew, it's so hot in here. I don't know what temperatures you're all having in the rest of the country, but over here in Southeast Texas, we are still burning up in a drought. Haven't seen rain in 2 months. All right, so we're going to pull it down, which is going to put some tension on it. And then do the same thing as we did before. This hook right here is going to hook into that elastic. And I have to hold it in such a way you probably won't see me do it, but you can see what's happening. It hooks into, like, you know, hooks into there. You can see this here. And the leg is looped in. So first, we're going to put our screws in. Just basically screw them down in there. All right. Now, if you remember, we only made one for this, and we need to make sure that the knot ends up in the body, not in either one of the arms. So now that we put this in, we'll take this out. Run this through the body, and don't get the elastic on the neck, but it's really up here anyway. We're going to run our little homemade tool down through the arm, the upper arm. We're going to grab this elastic, and then we're going to pull it back through. And if we notice the knot getting stuck somewhere where it shouldn't, we can adjust that now. Like on this one, I'd probably prefer it being in the body. So we can adjust this just so. Okay, perfect. Now, hook this, bring it through, and relax a little bit. Have a little patience on this one, okay? You're gonna put it through here. Nah, wrong way. You're gonna put it through here. And then, just like on the leg, this has to connect here. If you're gonna adjust and pull out, this same principle works for all sorts of dolls, like I showed you before. Even the dolls, when their legs open, the leg comes up. Same thing, you're gonna put your screw in here and string it exactly like I did this one. Remember, pull out when you want to position your doll to keep breakage down. That's it. See, this is pretty stiff. If you want it lighter to where the doll moves freely, you're gonna make your strings looser. If you want it stiffer to where you can put the arm up and it not move at all, like this one's still a little loose, just make it a little tighter. If you want it to fall down easily, well, you know, do it in reverse. It's been a long day putting the doll together. I hope you enjoyed it. And you don't have to make anything near as creepy as what I do. But any of the dolls that you decide to make, whether it be out of ceramic or porcelain or stoneware or whatever other concoction you can come up with, they're all going to be strung exactly the same way. Now, one thing I didn't show you that I like to do with some of the dolls, this one in particular, is I like to wax the joints, okay? And this is just a little trick. You don't have to do this. I just like doing it. So if you can get these, that's at the actual, just regular old paraffin wax. I mean, I don't know if beeswax would work, but maybe. I take these, you can pull this out, and before I put them together, I wax the joints, and that makes them move very smoothly without that. So take that for what it is. If you want to do it, you can use my little tip. All right, that's it on how to string a doll. I hope I taught you something, and I will see you in the next one.